You know, zombie games are not my favorite type of genre. But the last game I played and actually enjoyed was zombie game was Left 4 Dead, and I don't know if I consider Forgive Me Father a zombie game per se. But was there another one I played? No, I honestly, other than Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, I don't think I've played a single zombie game. And my point is, like, there's this game called The Day Before, and many people thought this game was going to be a scam because I mean they had it looks good and they had a decent trailer, but then the game came out and is there a trailer? This is probably and the game looks good. It looks like a god damn it. It looks like a AAA game or a AAA looking game, but I feel like nowadays it doesn't take long. It doesn't take much to make a game look good or have cinematics that look good. The effort should go into mechanics, you know, what type of gunplay you have, what type of story you want to make, voice acting. Like, this is where the effort in most games go. Like, it doesn't take much of a team to make a game look good. But the thing is, they came out with this game. The game came out, and people were like, okay, it's not actually what was advertised. Because what they were trying to make was sort of a zombie extraction shooter. But the game came out, and I guess they had the extraction aspect, right? And the shooter aspect, and like kind of like the Escape from Tarkov or Rust type deal, where it's you can have people, just random players on the map, and you can make alliances, you can betray, but the idea is to go in, grab shit, and get out. But now I heard that they're just dropping the game entirely. Like they're gonna not gonna support the game anymore. And I mean it's a textbook scam. Like they're taking people's money, and if you don't refund, you you're not going to even be able to get the game anymore. And I do believe in some countries that's illegal. I don't know if it is in America, but I know in most European countries you don't just make a product like a video game, put it on the market, take people's money, then literally the next couple of days just pull it. I mean, or I don't know if they're going to pull support, or I think they're just the game itself. Yeah, I think the game itself is just not going to be available anymore. Because if it's on the pay, if it's on Steam, they have to support it. So yeah, I think they're genuinely just going to pull the game, and that is an actual scam. And the fact that again, the game looks like a AAA game, and they fooled people into buying it, but now I guess the game's just gonna go kaput. And I don't know. I was actually thinking about like I watched a couple people play this game, but I mean, again, it's one of those games where you either play with friends or it's just there's no real reason to play it. The day before developer shuts down, days after game's release. Fantastic says its zombie MMO has failed financially. Yeah, I'd say so too. I mean, at first people didn't even think the game was going to come out, right? But then it did come out, and it was not anywhere what it was supposed to be. Last Thursday, the studio behind post-apocalyptic open-world MMO survival game. The day before launch, the game had become Steam's most wish-listed title based on a splashy reveal trailer. On Monday, the studio said it was shutting down and that no more updates will be released for the day before. Yeah, but here's the thing. Companies usually know this months in advance. Like, you know when a game's not going to sell or it's not going to get the hype that it's supposed to months before, I'd say, even the product releases, right? I don't know if they had a Kickstarter or what. I hope it wasn't a Kickstarter project, or they might be in a lot more trouble and have a lot more things to deal with. Developer Fantastic announced its closure on X in a statement that reads, "The day before has failed financially and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners." The day, yeah, exactly. If you put money into this, odds are, and you haven't refunded it after 2 hours, odds are you're probably not going to get the money back because of that. Like, there's no way they couldn't have known this before the game even released. The day before launch in a rough early access state on Steam without the gameplay or features that players expected, based on the series of trailers released by Fantastic that was pitched as an open world MMO set in a world of zombies, was more like an extraction shooter. Critics of the game said early reviews from players were harsh and unforgiving. On Steam, the day before now has more than 18,000 reviews, skewing overwhelmingly negative. It's now one of the lowest rated games of the lowest rated Steam games of all time. That's weird. That's odd, because Steam has a lot of like shovelware. So games made in like a college project or games made specifically to be shit, or games made by people just to fuck around. It has nothing but Unity assets shoved in them. So to be the lowest rated Steam game of all time, that's an achievement in itself. Like, what comes closer in entertainment? Like, there's that Morbius movie that came out and was absolute trash. But people memed on it, and Marvel Studios thought that, because people were memeing on it, that the movie was gonna be popular, and they released the movie again in theaters, and it flopped a second time. Like, I'd say that is the one time in movie history where a movie flopped twice on release. And God knows how much money they lost. But, yeah, I'd say that's the closest thing to this in entertainment. Like, I know Star Citizen, that game literally doesn't need to be released. Like, it's the Schrodinger's game. It both exists and does not exist, depending on who you ask and all the people that spent money in it. Fantastic was suspiciously quiet as negative players' response rolled in. After launching the day before, the studio posted just twice on X saying that its North American servers were working but filling too quickly, and that a huge update including server and AI fixes was coming the day after launch. They should have said the day before. That would have been hilarious. After peaking with a little over 30,000 concurrent players on launch day, the day before active player count dipped to less than 3,000 according to the Steam chart. So there was hype about this game. I mean, I don't know how popular extraction shooters are. I know Rust and Escape from Tarkov and maybe what's another game? Extraction shooter. I don't know. I lost train of thought. But yeah, I know those two games still have a dedicated player base. What would Stalker be considered? I know Stalker Anomalies, which is a complete fan-made overhaul of the older Stalker game. It has a decent amount of concurring players. But I don't really know how popular extraction shooters really are, because I haven't really checked. Fantastic said it doesn't know what the future of Day Before or its other games on Steam Prop Night will be, but the servers will remain optional for now. In its announcement on X, Fantastic offered an apology for any delivery on expectations after defending its work on the day before, or for not delivering on the expectations. But yeah, I mean, going back to the Google images, I mean, I guess it looks fine. It looks like a good game, but sadly, you can't go off trailers or looks or like things you see on the internet anymore, because just like this situation, I mean, it ended up just being a flat out scam. Like, they're not supporting the game anymore. And I guess that's sad. I mean, what other cases of this happening other than, you know, I mean, we got the Star Citizen example of games that's probably going to fail expectations, but usually games are broken on launch, which is a problem. And this game was $40. I know it had a bit of a rocky start, but then an update came that made the game better. But I mean, No Man's Skies, when it first came out, was atrocious. Now, to my knowledge, it's a better game now, but I don't think I'm ever gonna buy it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's sad, but I do kind of see this happening more and more in the future. You know, you have projects like these that, you know, they come out, they take in all the money, and I don't know how many people refunded the game after 2 hours or kept playing, but they're effectively just taking their cake and going home, you know, packing up their toys and being like, alright, we out this bitch. And they're in debt, and I mean, sadly, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But, you know, that's all I gotta say about this. See ya.